Have you ever felt unusually tired, thirsty, or just off in a way you can't quite put your finger on? Maybe your vision seems blurrier than usual, or you've been rushing to the bathroom more often than normal. These might seem like minor annoyances, things you brush off as stress, dehydration, or just a busy week. But what if these are your body's way of trying to tell you something important? For millions of women, these everyday symptoms could actually be early signs of diabetes. The thing about diabetes is that it often sneaks up quietly, and because the symptoms can seem so ordinary, many women don't realize what's going on until it's already progressed. That's why today, we want to talk about the 8 most common signs of diabetes in women. Now, before we get into the symptoms, let's talk about why this topic is especially important for women. Diabetes doesn't affect everyone in the same way. Women often experience it differently from men because of hormonal changes linked to menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause. These natural fluctuations can make it harder to manage blood sugar levels and can sometimes mask or exaggerate certain symptoms. Beyond that, diabetes in women is linked to a higher risk of complications like heart disease, depression, and issues during pregnancy. So recognizing these signs early isn't just about managing diabetes. It's about protecting your overall health and well-being. Let's start with one of the most overlooked signs: frequent urination. Have you noticed that you're making more trips to the bathroom than usual? Maybe you're waking up in the middle of the night multiple times, disrupting your sleep and leaving you groggy the next day. This happens because when there's too much sugar in your blood, your kidneys work overtime to filter it out. As they flush out the excess sugar, they also draw water from your tissues, making you feel like you need to pee constantly. Frequent urination can be easy to dismiss. After all, it could just mean you've been drinking more water. But if it's paired with other symptoms, it's worth paying attention to. Speaking of water, let's talk about excessive thirst. This goes hand in hand with frequent urination. Have you ever felt like no matter how much water you drink, you just can't quench your thirst? This unrelenting need to drink is your body's way of trying to make up for all the fluid it's losing through urination. Imagine this. You drink a full glass of water, and within minutes, you're reaching for another. It's not just a sign of dehydration. It could be your body struggling to cope with high blood sugar levels. Now let's move on to something that might seem like a blessing at first: unexplained weight loss. For some women, losing weight without trying might sound like a dream come true, but in the context of diabetes, it's a red flag. When your body can't use glucose for energy, it starts breaking down fat and muscle instead. This can lead to rapid, unintended weight loss. So, if you notice the numbers on the scale dropping and you haven't changed your diet or exercise routine, it's time to take a closer look. Sudden weight loss often comes with other symptoms like weakness and fatigue, which brings us to our next point. Fatigue is one of the most common and frustrating signs of diabetes. This isn't your typical, "I didn't get enough sleep last night" tiredness. It's a deep, bone-weary exhaustion that doesn't go away, no matter how much rest you get. Your body is essentially running on empty because it can't properly use glucose for fuel. Imagine waking up after 8 hours of sleep and still feeling like you've been hit by a truck. If this kind of fatigue is becoming your norm, it's time to pay attention to what your body might be telling you. Have you ever experienced moments where your vision seems blurry, almost like you're looking through a foggy window? Blurred vision is another common sign of diabetes, and it happens because high blood sugar levels can cause the lens of your eye to swell, making it harder to focus. This can come and go, which makes it easy to brush off. But over time, unmanaged diabetes can lead to more serious eye problems, including permanent vision loss. If you notice that you're struggling to see clearly, don't ignore it. Now let's talk about something that's a bit less obvious: frequent infections or slow healing. If you've been dealing with recurring urinary tract infections, yeast infections, or even skin infections, it could be linked to diabetes. High blood sugar levels create an environment where bacteria and fungi thrive, making infections more common. On top of that, cuts, scrapes, and bruises may take longer to heal because diabetes can impair circulation and damage blood vessels. Have you ever noticed that a small nick on your finger takes weeks to close up? That's something to pay attention to. Tingling or numbness in your hands and feet is another sign that's often overlooked. This sensation, sometimes described as pins and needles, can be a symptom of diabetic neuropathy, a type of nerve damage caused by high blood sugar. It might start as a mild tingling or burning sensation, but over time, it can progress to pain or even complete numbness. If you're noticing these sensations regularly, especially if they're paired with other symptoms, it's a strong indicator that something might be wrong. For the last one, let's talk about your skin. Diabetes can cause noticeable changes, like dark patches that often appear in areas like the neck, armpits, or groin. This condition, called acanthosis nigricans, is a sign of insulin resistance. You might also notice your skin becoming dry, itchy, or developing small yellow bumps that resemble pimples. Your skin is often a window into your overall health, so if you're noticing these changes, it's worth having a conversation with your doctor. So what do you do if you're experiencing some of these symptoms? The first step is to not panic. These signs don't automatically mean you have diabetes, but they do mean it's time to take action. Schedule an appointment with your healthcare provider and share all the symptoms you've been noticing, even if they seem unrelated. They'll likely recommend blood tests to check your sugar levels and determine whether you're dealing with prediabetes, type 1, or type 2 diabetes. In the meantime, there are small changes you can start making to improve your overall health. Focus on a balanced diet that prioritizes whole, unprocessed foods. Incorporate regular physical activity into your routine, even if it's just a daily walk. And most importantly, stay hydrated and keep track of any new symptoms or changes you notice. Recognizing the signs of diabetes early can make all the difference in managing the condition and preventing complications. If you've been brushing off symptoms like fatigue, thirst, or frequent infections, it's time to listen to your body. Diabetes is serious, but with the right care and lifestyle changes, it's manageable. Your health is worth the effort. And remember, you're not alone. Millions of women live with diabetes and thrive by taking proactive steps. If you've experienced any of these symptoms or have questions, share your thoughts in the comments. Let's support each other in taking control of our health and well-being.